Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Cindy, and today I'm going to be mixing dry glaze from Mayco Stoned Denim, one of my favorite colors. I've only ever used it in pints. I've never mixed dry glaze before, so I'm learning something new today. So if you want to join me and figure out how to do this with me, hang in there. Let's do it. Okay, so the tools that you need, from what I understand, for doing this is a bucket. I have chosen to use a 2-gallon bucket. I hope this is big enough to do 10 pounds of dry glaze. It takes 10 pints of water, which I've already put in here. I had to go get it from my laundry room since I don't have water in here. So there's 10 pints of water in my bucket. And then you have to wear a respirator with HEPA filters. So I have that. And then later, for when we measure the specific gravity, I have a beaker, 100 mil beaker, and a scale. So those are the things that we need. Now, the first thing that it says on the package, first it says always wear a respirator, which, I've got that. Gently tumble the unopened bag to redistribute the materials. Sieving, not necessary. So I'm just going to gently tumble the bag. I guess this is how you tumble a bag. I'm not familiar with bag tumbling, but I'm gonna have to get familiar with it. My understanding is maybe you can get this in a 5-pound. Wherever I got it from, 10-pound was all they had. But because I know people have said that in a 5-gallon bucket, then once it starts getting really low, then they just add 5 pints of water and 5 more pounds of glaze and remix it up. So anyways, okay. So I'm going to put on my respirator now. I took the dogs in the house. They were out here with me. I took them in. I'll let them come out later because I don't want them out here because I don't have little doggy respirators. So I'm going to put my respirator on and then I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not ignoring you, but I'm not going to talk to you while I have my respirator on, probably, because you won't be able to understand me. But then I'm going to open this up. I'm going to pour that. Ooh, that seems like a lot. I don't have another 5-gallon bucket. I hope this is okay. I mean, the water only comes to like half. It's a 2-gallon bucket, so the water only comes to half. And I don't know how much this glaze is going to fill it up, but I guess we'll just see. I'm thinking maybe a 3-gallon bucket would have been better. I wonder if I need to go get a 3-gallon bucket. I just don't want to have I don't have the room in here for a bunch of 5-gallon buckets. I guess we're going to try it. We're going to go for it. Here we go. This is always fun, putting this on, especially over my glasses. Okay. I didn't expect it to be red. But here we are. Oof. Oh, it's so dusty. I hope my thing's on good. Oof. It's getting really full. But it's got to slake down. You see the bubbles? We did it. We got 10 pounds in a 2-gallon bucket. Okay, you need to get off of the edges there. I have to continue wearing the respirator until it's all wet. And it's almost there. And you're supposed to let it soak and saturate, hydrate, before you mix it. And so by the bubbling, oh gosh, can you see? I'm just going to take you off the thing really quick. You see the bubbling? So the bubbling tells me it's not all done yet. So I'm going to let it keep doing that. And then when it settles down, then I'm going to stir it. Oops. Let me check and make sure you're back properly on the stand. Oh, you couldn't see any of that. Gosh, Cindy. Well, I'm so sorry. I can't redo it. I can't redo it because, you know, the deed has been done. But all I did was dump a bag in a bucket. And I haven't stirred it. I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm told that the best stirrer is a toilet bowl brush. So I ran up to Ace Hardware and got a brand new toilet bowl brush. But while that's doing that, even though, you know, I kind of hate throwing away plastic bags, but because that was a glaze bag, I got some powder on the counter I'm going to clean up. Okay, that's all. Everything's wet now, and I've cleaned up my area, so I took off my respirator. It makes me feel like I have a runny nose. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brand new toilet bowl brush, and I'm going to stir it. Ooh, oh baby. Now, see, if I had a bigger bucket, the one advantage to having a bigger bucket is then you can just leave the brush in there. Oh dear. Oh, that's really chunky. Wow. Come on. You got to mix up better than that. Do you see that? I mean, it's just globbed on there. I do have like a paint mixer thing for my drill. I need one of those mixers made for like clay and stuff, but this has a lot of clay on it, and I didn't want to take a chance on contaminating my glaze. So I just wanted something brand new. We love brand new things, right? And maybe this brush isn't such a good idea for the very first mixing. I don't know. Is that a dog hair? Probably. Wow. Just try to wipe some of this down. And, you know, I can only go by, oh, I threw the bag away and I need to get that back out, and I need to take a picture of the label, because on the label it's got, you know, their Mayco's recommended specific gravity measurements, like between 1.41 and 1.5 something, or 1.37 and 1.51, maybe something. I don't know. That's why I need to get the bag out and look. And I need to take a picture of that. I know it also varies depending on what you like, how long you're going to dip it. You want it, I guess you also want it thinner if you're going to be layering glazes. And I'm kind of thinking, for me, I will kind of use this as a foundation glaze. Put this on, and then colors that, once I get my test tiles done, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, is I want to use this with test tiles, because I want to kind of decide what colors look really good over stone denim. I'm just learning as I go. I'm kind of splattering glaze all over the place too. I gotta be careful. Oh, splattered some on my kiln shelf right there. I gotta be sure to wipe that off. That's not good. So I started with 10 pints of water, which is what it says to do. Why is it just globbing up in the brush so bad? I mean, I can see that it's like creamy thick. I think I'm definitely gonna have to add more water. I'm gonna go get another quart of water, which is 2 pints, and just add a little bit at a time. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to this, because I would rather have too much water, no, too little water than too much water. I can tell that it's getting better. It's not as sloggy in the brush. And now right before I did this, I watched a couple more videos, because I'm always like panicked that I'm going to do something wrong, from the Mayco site. And they both said, you know, they mixed it up. They got it all mixed up like this. And then they said, okay, now you're ready to dip. And I was like, oh, I thought I had to let it sit overnight, because some people say you have to let it sit overnight. Okay, so now for measuring the specific gravity, that's a whole other animal. That's a whole other animal. That's silly to use. It's silly to use both of these. Of course, I bought it. I should use it. But since I have this, so what I'm going to do, I've got my scale set to grams. Okay, I'm going to weigh this. That weighs 66 grams. Remember that. I'm not writing it down. 66 grams. So now I'm going to give this another stir. This is looking a lot better. Look at that. Look how much better it looks. Okay, anyways, give this a stir. And then I'm going to suck up 100 mils in this. And it's nice and full, so I think we're good. I'm going to wipe that off so that I'm only weighing what's inside there. That's a little more than 100. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to weigh that. 209 grams. So now I'm going to take 209 minus 66 equals 143 divided by 100 equals 1.43. I mean, I'm right there. I am right there. Because I looked on the bag. I don't remember what it said now. Let me look again. Our recommended specific gravity is in the range of 1.47 to 1.51. This is for a 1 second dip time. You may want to mix to a lower specific gravity if you layer your glazes or tend to dip longer. I'm going to dip something and test it out at this specific gravity. I'm going to add a little more water and see how that changes the specific gravity. It's all about the science today. We're going to do it again. We know that the syringe weighs 66. We're going to get 100 mils in there. Weigh this. 213. Ooh, that's different than it was before. So exciting. So 213, nope. 213 minus 66 equals 147 divided by 100 equals 1.47. Isn't that what we were at before? Crap, now I don't remember what we were at before. I really need to be writing this stuff down. I have my notepad here. That was 147, 1.47. I'm going to make it thinner. I'm liking that consistency. What do I know? I've never done this before, but again, when I watched Florian Gadsby, this is looking a lot like his consistency, because I remember thinking his glaze looks like the consistency of a nice creamy chocolate milk. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing here. But let's put this back in here. What I'm most interested to find, how much water does it take to change it? Because I've already added almost 2 more pints, and I started with 10 pints, so we're up to almost 12 pints. And I need to keep track of that too. $100. Wipe its little nose. Grams. 209. That's less. Okay, so we have 209 minus 66 equals 143. Divided by 100 is going to be 1.43. I'm going to add the rest of the water. Just because now I know I have exactly 12 pints of water. And I'm going to make a note of that on the paper. And then I'm going to do this, check the gravity one more time. $211, $212. It was $209 last time, and I added more water. Why is it going up? Was it supposed to do that? I don't think so. 212 minus 66 equals 146. Well, that can't be right. So you're telling me that it gets thicker the more water I add to it? How does that make sense? That makes no sense. I don't believe it. I'm going to measure it again. $209. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to measure this. Boom, 100 mil is 140. Divide that by what? 140 grams. Fill with 100 ml of glaze and weigh in grams. Divide the total weight by 100. $140 divided by 100 equals 1.4. So it's the same. Now, I'm not going to do the handle. So I'm going to plunge it. Ooh. Yep, it needs more water. All right, I'm adding more water because I think it needs it. I think it's way too thick. Not quite another pint. Oh yeah, that's too thick. And I did a test with a mug that's cracked just to see how it went on, and the glaze it was so thick. It was so thick that it immediately cracked inside, and it's cracking down there below the handle. And I mean, it was just way too thick. Look at that. When I lifted it up out, this big run. So that's why I added more. You're not allowed in there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Okay. So remember, this weighed 66 grams. It's on 0. And now this weighs freaking 209. How much more water do I have to add? My gosh. So we're still at 1.43. Well, that's ridiculous. All right, guys, if you hung in there through that video, kudos to you. That was tough. That was tough to watch. It was tough to edit. Math is hard. Math is hard. Science is hard. We all have our fortes, right? And neither one of those are mine. But because of that, I almost didn't post this video because I kind of felt, well, I felt kind of dumb. But I decided, you know what? I think there's probably people out there that might need to know that, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. So it's really not that hard to do. I'm really glad that I did it. So I want to show you a couple of things. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm holding my camera because I came out here to the studio and I don't have a tripod and I didn't want to go back in and get one. So I'm holding my camera. I'm going to turn it around and show you a couple of things. Okay, here's some stone denim pieces, but most importantly, here is the mug that I dipped in that video. And remember, I thought that it was way too thick. It didn't run off the bottom. It didn't drip. I didn't have to do any grinding. Again, that video was recorded 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. And this has been used. It just has a crack. It has a crack in the, sorry, again, I'm one-handed here. It has a crack right here in the name thing, but D loved it and he's been using it. It actually crawled. It's got a little crawl right there and another one little, you know, right there, but no pinholes or anything. So he's been using it and it's beautiful. It's perfect. And I thought it was just way too thick. I figured it was going to run all over the place and it didn't. So here's the thing that I've noticed. I think the color is dependent, maybe not only on how long you dip for, but the temperature. You notice, like, of course, I think these two were in the same kiln load. I know these two were in the same kiln and they're darker. So yeah, I'm not sure. These, I know I didn't dip them very long. And so there's a lot of texture showing through. But I also wanted to tell you that I came out here today and I decided I'm going to check the specific gravity again. And I didn't put you through watching that again. But here's my bucket now. That video was recorded February 11th. Today's March 31st. I checked the specific gravity again and it was 144 today. So It's so much fun. I love dipping, and I hope that if it's something you've been thinking about doing and you've just been putting it off, maybe because you're nervous about mixing it up or whatever, just do it. It is so fun. I actually have another bag of glaze, another dry glaze somewhere. I don't know where it's at right now, that I'm going to mix up. It's a cream, and I can't wait to do that. All right, that's a wrap for this video. We made it through, guys. Whoo, that was tough. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.